Or even if we just say peace and joy in life. Because running away and neglecting our responsibilities does not bring peace. Maybe fine during the day when you can pretend that you haven't neglected your responsibilities. But at night, when it's time to go to sleep, it's going to eat you. It's going to eat you. And that's why whatever our responsibilities are, when we fulfill them, our duties, we actually feel so much more anchored, grounded, calm, peaceful, connected. But then, of course, the last level is that aspect of your individual dharma that goes into another level beyond just you as a caretaker in a family, but that also goes into your particular path. Your yearning, that call of your heart to express your heart, to express your gifts, to express your love in the world. Act. Feel seen, see others. Have that sharing of your heart. And then I think you'll be able to find that this situation, first of all, it's most likely not permanent. Sadly, we don't have our parents forever. Assuming that we of course live to a ripe old age, chances are we're going to lose our parents significantly before that. So be grateful for the time that you have to be in service. And allow it to be your spiritual practice. Such that it's not about them appreciating you or sharing it, but it's just this is your spiritual practice. To obtain God, which is better? Which is easier? Which is stronger? Which is a better way? Doing kirtan or doing meditation? It's like saying which is better? Bhakti marg, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, or karma yoga? Right? Sankirtan increases our bhakti. We're chanting God's name. We're dancing to God. We are just immersed in the ras of bhakti. In meditation, sometimes there's that beautiful experience of love for God. Sometimes it's more of a practice of jnana yoga. Who am I? Who am I? It depends what type of meditation we do. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And then, of course, you forgot to add in the mix seva, karma yoga, right? Because these are our three. Acha ye batao, wo batao, right? We want to know as much as we can about the one we love. Now that is starting with bhakti. But you could also start with gyan. You can start with wisdom, knowledge. The more you learn about someone, especially when that someone is God, right? With a person, sometimes the more you learn about them, you think, chalo, nah, maybe not. But with God, the more you learn about God, the more our bhakti increases. This is why we listen to katha. It's why we read scripture. It's why we meditate on God. Because the more we learn about God and experience the presence of God, the more our love for God increases. And the more our love increases, the more we serve. But you can also get in through service. Because as we serve, we may begin, let's say you are a hungry homeless person, and I am someone who runs langar. Okay? So maybe I begin by thinking, I am the one jiske paas sare khana hai, mera paas sab kuch hai. Tumhare paas to kuch bhi nahi hai. So I begin thinking I have everything, you have nothing. I am serving you. But if my karma yoga is real, as I serve, I am seeing the divine in you. The point of our seva is not, we are over here as those who have a lot, serving those over there who have less. All of our seva is a way. It purifies our mind. It enables us to be an instrument in God's hands. This nimitta matram, right? We talk about nimitta matram bhav. Means this bhav, this feeling of just being an instrument. And as I am serving, I am seeing the divine in you. I'm not serving you as a hungry homeless person. I'm serving and seeing you in God's form. And as I do that, slowly, slowly, I'm seeing my own self, my capital S divine self in you. There's a beautiful story of and I'll end with this, but there's a beautiful story of a devotee coming home one night on a very, very cold winter night. And he's a devotee of Bhagwan Krishna. And as he's walking home, there's a homeless person on the street who's very cold and says, "Can you give me something?" The man doesn't have any cash with him, but he's wearing a shawl. And his mind thinks, I should give him the shawl. But then he thinks, well, to fir mere ko kya hoga? Right? I'm also cold. So he cuts his shawl in half and he gives this homeless person half of a shawl. And he wears half a shawl. Theek hai. 50-50. That night he has a dream. And Bhagwan Krishna comes to him in the dream. And he's wearing half a shawl. And the man says, "Why are you only wearing half a shawl?" And Bhagwan Krishna says, "Bas itna aapne mujhko de diya. That's all you gave me." And we learn stories like this to remind us, in every beggar, in every hungry person, in every homeless person, in every downtrodden person, is God. So as we do karma yoga, it is to see God in them. So the more we serve them, the more we see God in them, the more we love them, right? The wahi ke wahi hai. So it doesn't matter actually where you start because you end up doing all three. Start with whatever comes the most easy to you. Some people are very inclined toward bhakti. Others are inclined toward karma yoga. Others are inclined toward jnana yoga. Doesn't matter where you start. Ultimately, they all come together. And then you end up doing all of them.
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई
सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। ओम जय गंगे माता मैया जय गंगे माता।
जो नर तुमको ध्याता,
जो नर मैया जी को ध्याता मन वांछित फल पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। चंद्र सी ज्योति तुम्हारी जल निर्मल आता।
ओ मैया जल निर्मल आता, शरण पड़े जो तेरी, शरण पड़े जो तेरी,
सोनर तर जाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। एक ही बार जो तेरी शरणागति आता।
ओ मैया शरणागति आता, यम के त्रास मिटा कर, यम के कष्ट मिटा कर परम गति पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता।
मंगलकारिणी मैया तू है सुखदाता।
ओ मैया तो है सुखदाता, तेरी गोद में आकर, तेरी शरण में आकर मन शांति पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता।
आरती मात तुम्हारी जो जन नित गाता।
ओ मैया प्रेम सहित गाता, दास वही है सहज में, भक्त वही है सहज में, मुक्ति को पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। ओम जय गंगे माता। ओ मैया जय गंगे माता। जो नर तुमको ध्याता, जो नर मैया जी को ध्याता मन वांछित फल पाता।